Hello, everyone. Welcome to Culture Talks presented by Confed Cares. My name is Daniela Pagel, and I am the head of the WIS committee at Confederation College. And I also am the International Admissions and Support Officer in the International Education Center at Confederation College. It's a pleasure to share with you the impact that the Student Refugee Program has on our campus and community. Joining us on the panel today is Alouette. She is a valued alumni of the SRP program. She was our SRP student in 2023, and she is currently in her second semester of nursing. Alouette's journey exemplifies the program's mission, and she's also become a committee member this past September, which is critical in helping to support the new incoming refugee students. We are also pleased to have Mad from the Multicultural Center, another committee member who plays a vital role in fostering community connections and support for newcomers. Together, we'll explore the SRP and its goals, the support it offers, what lies ahead, and then we get to chat with Alouette and Matt. Before we dive into more, I think we need to kind of just talk about what are these acronyms that I've been saying and what is this, because I'm sure majority of you have not heard about WISC or the SRP program, or if you have, maybe just in short details. So WISC stands for World University Service Canada. It's a nonprofit organization dedicated to improving education, employment, and empowerment for marginalized youth around the world. With a presence in over 25 countries, WISC focus on international development initiates the enhanced education and opportunities for youth, women, and refugees. By collaborating with local organizations and governments, WISC seeks to create sustainable pathways for individuals to overcome and achieve their potential. And the SRP is a program under WISC. So if we look at WISC as like an umbrella, the SRP is one stream. And so the SRP is a unique initiative launched by WISC that aims to provide higher education opportunities to refugee youth. And I should say the SRP means Student Refugee Program. The program facilitates the resettlement of refugee students in Canada, enabling them to pursue their post-secondary education while receiving comprehensive support tailored to their needs. The SRP integrates academic pursuits with social and community support, fostering an inclusive environment where students can thrive. It not only assists with education, but also focuses on building connections, promoting cultural exchange, and empowering students to become active members of their communities. At Confederation College, the SRP was launched in 2020 by Miriam Wall, the Dean of International Education, and Amy Fodchuk, and I took over as the head in 2021. We welcomed our first two students in September 2021 due to COVID, or else it would have been in September of 2020. And we have been adding one new student each September since then. The initiative enriches our campus community by bringing diverse perspectives and experiences while fostering a culture of inclusion and understanding. So this picture on the left is back in like 2013 when I was a part of WISC at my university in Sault Ste. Marie. And the student beside me, his name is Blue, and he was an SRP student as well. And before I touch on the goals, I just wanted to give a little talk about him. So Blue came here and he was so shy. I remember he wouldn't even come out of his room. And then, as the year progressed, he got more and more outgoing and came to events. And now Blue's a Canadian citizen, lives in Edmonton. A lot of his family has immigrated to Canada. He has nieces and nephews here. So it really shows the importance of this program, and looking at it 11, 12 years later and how successful he's become, it makes me so excited for our students who are on campus today and what 10 years down the road looks like for them as well. So the goals of the Student Refugee Program, there's four main ones. So we provide resettlement and higher education opportunities for refugee youth, create a positive integration process for all refugee students, engage Canadian students in global issues, mainly refugee issues, and help create welcoming communities for newcomers. And then there's the main 5 pillars of SRP. And so these are the supports that are provided by Confederation College or any other university or college in Canada that have this program. So they are academic, financial, health and well-being, social, and self-reliance. So to get into more exactly what they are, So academic is we provide comprehensive academic supports to help our students succeed. So this includes meeting with their advisors when they first come to Canada, even before they start their classes, just so they have an understanding, campus tours, that sort of stuff, doing check-ins throughout the semester to see how everything is going, and letting them know all about the services we have on campus that can assist them if they need extra supports. We try to always just be a face for our student and know that even though they don't have necessarily blood family here, we're always their family and we'll help them in whatever way that is. The next one is financial. So Confederation College, when we say sponsor, we sponsor that student completely. So everything from their tuition, their books, they get a monthly stipend, food, housing. So from September to August of that full first year. And then this will help these students with ease of the financial burden that moving across the world would have, as they have no supports, right? And then we also are the only campus in Canada that has this program that offers our SRP student a job when they first get on campus. So Suki has been great in always having a position for our student, and that has immensely helped them. You know, it gives them work experience in Canada. It also helps integrate them with the society and also gives them a little bit of pocket money that maybe that monthly stipend, you know, doesn't allot for. The third one, health and well-being. So the program really emphasizes mental and physical health and the importance of it. So we provide access and show them where counseling services are, get them set up with the doctors, dentists, all that sort of stuff. But we also keep that door open, and if they ever need additional supports. The fourth one is social. So fostering a sense of community is essential for our students. A lot of the time, they go through phases of homesickness or culture shock. And so really having that door open, inviting them to things, taking them to events on campus, off campus, whatever it may be, is super important. And then the last one is self-reliance. And I believe that this is the most important, because after that year, sure, we're still here, but they need to be able to support themselves. So develop those skills of independence. That includes life skills training, financial literacy workshops, all that sort of stuff that will make them the most successful that they could be. So by addressing these 5 pillars, the SRP creates a holistic support system that ensures refugee students not only thrive academically, but also feel valued and connected with their new environment. Looking ahead, the future of the SRP program at Confederation is bright. Our goal is to continue welcoming new students each September while enhancing our support services. We plan to be more active on campus by getting the word out about the program. And we are very grateful with our relationship with the Thunder Bay Multicultural Center. They have helped us immensely this year, and so I look forward to continuing that and also engaging with other local organization and community members. We hope to create an even more inclusive environment for everyone. And as we continue to grow the SRP at Confederation College, I'm thrilled to introduce one of our SRP alumni students, Alouette. Alouette has a unique story and perspective to share with us about her journey through the program and what it means to be a part of the campus community. So please join me in welcoming Alouette. So Alouette, can you share your journey of becoming an SRP student? Where did you live before and what was the transition like?
Hi. Is it audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, my name is Alouette, and my journey started back then when I was around 13 years old. I told myself that I'm going to Canada. I just say that I'm going to Canada. And mind you, I knew nothing about WUSC at that time. Now, when I was in high school in my final year, a friend of mine, a classmate of mine just told me that, oh, do you know there's this program that take people to Canada? And knowing that I told myself that I'll go to Canada, I was now interested, right? So after my final exams in my high school, I passed well. I got good marks, clap for me. So I am now qualified to apply for this program, but I did not know how. So I went in, dug in, asked people, and I came to find out like this program took thousands of students to Canada. They brought them here. And I was like, okay, what do I require? I was already a refugee. I had passed my exams. And so the only thing now was to just apply because I have everything, right? So I did apply for the program, and we had set of steps to go through, and I was able to get the WOOST program. Yeah, and 2023 August on the 24th is the day I came to Canada under this program. And my local committee, who were to welcome me now to this school and take care of me, her, Miriam, hi Miriam, and others. So I remember this day. They actually came to the airport. I remember Subjit came, and that is the time I was like, "Wow, I'm actually here. I'm here living my dreams," and it was so good. It was so exciting, and at that moment, I knew, okay, I came from a place. Let me just speak a bit about the place I came from. It's so different from here. The first thing I saw was vegetations, like everywhere was green. And I was like, wow, so this is how my life is going to be. I know that does not sound to you as something big, but to me, like seeing everywhere was green, I was like, okay, okay, I've started going to heaven. So, and where I came from, there's a lot of difficulties because it's a refugee camp. These are people who ran away from their country because of war and stuff, and they get food and health and all that from UN. And you can imagine it's a lot of people. So it's not something like they're living a good life or anything. They just get things to survive in. But the fact that I decided to work hard in school and get my education right, because that was the only thing that I could call it mine. Mind you, I was in Kenya, not in South Sudan. I was in Kenya. It is not my home. I came there to seek refuge. So because of this education, I am here today. And although there have been challenges like food, I'm telling you right now, the first time I tasted a burger, I was disgusted. I swear I did not like it because it smelled like the ghee, you know, cow ghee? It smells like that, and I hated it. And I was like, I'm in a good place, yeah, but the food, how? How am I going to survive this? And I ate pizza, and it tasted so bad. But guess who loves burger now? I do. I order burger every time because I love it. And it's like, okay, all these challenges, they're just simple things. I had talent in my accent. And I'm actually mad about that because I hear everyone talking. I hear Indian accent, I hear Canadian accent, Mexican accent. I hear them well. But when I talk, someone is like, huh? And I'm like, if you just listen, you will hear. Saying a word like, if someone asked me, what are you studying? And I'm like, I'm studying practical nursing. And they're like, nothing? I'm like, it's nothing. What is wrong with my accent? And so simple things like that. But my life is change for I came here and I have an opportunity like everyone else now. Where I came from, you don't work, you are a refugee. You and provide food, and food, I mean just 1 meal a day. Here, I'm able to work, I'm able to walk freely like any other citizen here. And why? because of WUSC, because of this program, and it's still continuing. Other refugees get opportunity because of this program. And I thank Miriam because she introduced this program to this institution. And my amazing local committee, they've been with me all throughout the year, and they're still with me. She is my friend. She check up on me every time. So I'm telling you now that I hope this program get out there, and you guys in Confederation College know that this school is changing life, not in the matter of giving education to people, but it's just amazing. I can't express how good it is, and I thank all of you for sitting here and watching me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alouette. That was very sweet. You are a very intelligent young lady, and I'm so grateful that you're at Confederation. Before we end your talk, your session here, my one question for you is for future students or Canadian international students on campus right now, what is one thing that you would like them to know about SRP students or just being a refugee student in general or whatever? What is a piece of advice for, I guess, current international and Canadian students? And maybe how they can interact better or whatever the case may be.
So first of all, I am a testimony that education do change life. So I urge you as an international student, as whoever you are, please focus on your education, focus on it. Know that it opened a lot of opportunities for you. It opened a lot of doors for you, and take it seriously. As young as you are, as old as you are, please focus on it, know that it can change life. And being a refugee student, I mean, I'm not different from you. So yeah, I am just the same person. I just have a different story, a better one actually. And so I just want all of you there to support this program. The program now is bringing one person per year. So if we can just support it, you'll be changing two people's life per year. And you know how important that is, because now that I'm here, I can be in the next 2 years, I can be able to pay my sister's school fees and help my family. And mind you, I have 9 siblings. So you are changing 9 lives just because of one. So support this program. Let's change life through WUSC. Thank you.
Thank you, Alouette. Motivational speaker. So just again, Alouette, thank you so much for sharing your journey and insights with us today. Your experience truly highlights the impact that the Student Refugee Program has at Confederation on the community of Thunder Bay, but also in the greater Canada, and the resilience of our students like you. We're excited to see all the incredible things you do in the next 10 plus years. I'm very excited to see you walk across the stage. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Mad from the Thunder Bay Multicultural Center. Mad plays a vital role in supporting newcomers in our community, and he discusses the service and impact that Thunder Bay Multicultural Center has on refugees and their families, including our SRP students. So please join me in welcoming Mad. All right, so Mad, let's start off. Can you please explain the role of the Thunder Bay Multicultural Association in supporting refugees, and how does it collaborate with our program here at Confederation College?
Sure. If everyone is wondering, yeah, I'm just going to reintroduce myself. My name is Ahmad Hafiz, but I just go by Mad. Yes, M-A-D as crazy. Yeah, it's just a small acronym of my name because some of the people here don't pronounce my name correctly. So just call me Mad, the crazy one. You'll see later why. So I now work with the Thunder Bay Multicultural Association as the Community Connection Coordinator and Volunteers Coordinator. But I've worked before with Thunder Bay Multicultural Association, let's call it TBMA, shorter, right? Better. Yeah, so I worked with TBMA before as a resettlement support worker. But I came to Canada like around 2 years ago, and I've been working with them since I landed somehow. But I've been working in this field for around more than 8 years. I mean, in the humanitarian force response. So yeah, so what do we do at Thunder Bay Multicultural Association and how my role supports? In TBMA, we receive lots of newcomers. We're the only Anglophone settlement agency that supports newcomers to Canada with services about settlement and resettlement at the same time. So in TBMA, we, as I said, we offer support for newcomers. One of these supports is resettlement. For example, if you're a newcomer to Canada and you're looking to find housing, for example, or you find some services, how to apply for something, how to apply for a job, or how to get connected to your community, we are the one spot that you can go to and ask all about these services, and we can offer you with all of these services for free for sure. How does this applies or supports SRP students? As I said, we support everyone who is a newcomer in the city, and this is our job. So I think I've been working with Daniela with Hamza, I guess. Yeah, so he's an SRP student who just arrived. So he got connected to the community. He got connected with some of the events that he needed to get connected with Thunder Bay's community at the same time. So in general, that's how we collaborate somehow. The services, yeah, tell me.
I'll read the question.
Go ahead.
And I will say that the Thunder Bay Multicultural Center this year in particular has been a great help for us because our student this year came from a different area of the world than all the other ones. So we were able to access the Thunder Bay Multicultural Center and get loads of support that I or the committee itself wouldn't have been able to give our student. So what specific services and resources do you have at Thunder Bay Multicultural Center?
Mm-hmm. So speaking about services, I just want to go back to newcomers a little bit. So as everyone knows, there is lots of pathways to come to Canada. And one of the biggest pathway that we work with is the government-assisted refugees, which are refugees who are outside of Canada, got sponsored by the government to come, and they are sponsored under a program called RAP, Resettlement Assistance Program. And that program supports these refugees for 1 year. It's literally kind of similar to the SRP students program. Through this program, and at the same time through the SRP, we offer services, Link School, we offer settlement services, employment services, we offer community connection services as we connect students, or at the same time SRP students or newcomers with the communities that they want to be communicating with. And that's it, I guess, in general. So.
Awesome. So a question more geared to your time with us on the committee. What is something that you enjoy about being a part of the SRP committee, and how does it impact the perspective of your work that you do?
Okay, so I'm going to be speaking a little bit about my own experience and how does that reflect with the work I do. I came through these refugee government-sponsored program, which is a program that, as I said, supported me to come to Canada and I start working here. So me as a newcomer, when I first landed in Canada, I needed that hand that takes me and put me in a community, put me to meet friends, someone who just check on me to ask what's going on and how is it going. Because I came here alone as Alouette and as I guess some of the SRP students are. So my role right now is I wanted to do this honestly. I enjoy it because when I check on a student, when I check on an SRP client, as we call it in our work, I feel that I'm given this support that I needed when I first came here. So this is what I enjoy, honestly, because I don't want anyone to feel isolated. I don't want anyone to feel that they're disconnected. And specifically with the snow outside, it's shocking for people who didn't live in this snow before or didn't even see snow, because they thought, as myself, I thought, snow, it's okay. I just go out, play with it, and it's not cold. It's just something funny. Apparently, it's not. So I didn't want anyone to experience this. I wanted everyone to be well equipped and ready for everything in Canada. And that's where I play this role as I'm here to support. I'm here to support the program. I'm here to support anyone who's in health in Canada.
Awesome, thank you. I know you touched on it a little bit in the beginning, but if you don't mind, what are other streams of refugee programs in Canada that Thunder Bay Multicultural is involved with? And how do they differ, if you know, from the SRP program?
So, as I said before, there is the government-assisted refugee program, which is a program that refugees applies for through the UNHCR outside Canada, and this is what we are funded to support. So they come through the IRCC to us right away. At the same time, we support the private-sponsored refugees as through the 5% sponsorship program, and there is like every pathway to Canada that might need any help comes to us. At the same time, there is the students, and how does it connect with the SRP student program? It's very similar. As I said, like the students here under the SRP, they get support for 1 year. And at the same time, people who are under RAP program get support for 1 year. The only difference is that like the SRP program offers the education, but unfortunately the RAP clients don't receive this, which is the resettlement assistance program. Yeah, which I guess it's better to come through the SRP, honestly.
I will say the SRP program last year, so in 2023-2024 year, across Canada, welcomed 150 refugee students, so SRP students. I think the University of Ottawa had the largest number, which was 12, but their committee is of like 60 people. So it's very different, but our committee here is a smaller group, and so having one student that we can really focus on definitely is what we can handle now. But hopefully in the future, we can add more to that. And so, Mad, my last question is, what are some of the future initiatives or projects that Thunder Bay Multicultural Center is planning to do to support refugees in Thunder Bay?
So there are lots of events that we run usually over the year. One of the biggest events that we usually run is once a year. It's called Folklore Festival, if some of you know. But unfortunately, this year we're not running this event because of some internal funding stuff. At the same time, we will have this year an event called Stay in the Bay, which is an event that helps newcomers to Canada and settlers to Canada to stay in this beautiful city. Please, guys, stay. Don't leave. I know it's cold, but it's amazing. At the same time, there's lots of events that comes all over the year. You can just check our website, thunderbay.org. Please write the www. I don't know what's wrong with our website, but if you write thunderbay.org right away, it gives you a Microsoft website. I don't know why. So yeah, you can just check our website. It is very helpful. Like we have a calendar that you can check all the events that you want to attend, but the one that it's closest, it's coming up, it's the Stay in the Bay if you want to check it out. Yeah, and usually we announce about it on our Instagram, our website, and everywhere. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Matt, for your insights. And so I just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody here for your time and attention today. We really haven't spoken too publicly about WISC or the SRP program. It's more just word of mouth. I know Mandy Wright, she's on our committee since the very beginning, and she talks about it a lot, but we've never really got out there and talked about it. So I'm staring at her and I'm glad we've done it. So if you'd like to get involved, give donations or anything like that, you are more than welcome to touch base with me upstairs in the International Education Center. And we appreciate all of the support for the Student Refugee Program and the important work that we are doing to create an inclusive and welcoming environment for refugee students at Confederation College. Another important thing to note is that refugee students are permanent residents when they land in Canada. So although today we've been saying refugee students more just for the context of this presentation, refugee students don't exist. They're permanent residences. So the second they land in Canada, they get their documents and they are citizens of this country. So they're treated as such. They have access to OHIP. They have access to everything that Canadians and permanent residents have. And it's they're treated as a domestic student on campus. And so that's also another value of this program, is that we give them that, whereas international students have a lot of hurdles to overcome once they are in Canada to obtain that citizenship. Refugee students have done that work back home. And so when they come here, they can really just focus on their schooling.
Yeah, maybe I can speak a little bit about my experience coming to Canada. If like just to give you a glance about how newcomers who are considered as PR once they land get treated, and what support they will expect from that. So before coming to Canada, we received an orientation called Orientation to Canada. This orientation technically helps you to understand a little bit about the background or where you're going to. Like, they told me you're going to Canada, and coming from their mouth, it's very simple. Like, you're going to Canada, you're going to be in Thunder Bay. I'm like, yeah, that's good. I told my friends, I'm going to Canada. You gotta be kidding me. You're going to the land, they go into the haven. You're going to the land where there is trees that has money on. You're going literally, you're going to the place where you get your job right away. I did this, but because I had some experience. You're going to the place where you get everything for free. You're gonna have this mansion, villa if you want. You're gonna believe me. So when I landed here, it was a little bit shocking. They told me Thunder Bay. I did a little bit of research about Thunder Bay. I'm like, So when I landed in Thunder Bay, I kind of felt like, okay, so this is not what I expected. Where are all the skyscrapers? Where are all the fancy villas and mansions they mentioned about? Unfortunately, I got stuck in the airport for 12 hours from 10 p.m. till 10 a.m. Yes, Thunder Bay Airport at the New Year's Eve. It's just because the Thunder Bay Multicultural Association, who was supposed to receive me at the airport, unfortunately didn't receive the email that I'm coming to Thunder Bay, because I got stuck 7 days in Toronto. Every day I go to the airport, got canceled. Your airplane got canceled. Your plane got canceled. So because of that, tons of email, they didn't follow up like, okay, he's not coming, he's coming, he's not coming, he's not coming. So apparently there is that email that wasn't sent and they didn't know about it. So I swear to God, at 1 a.m., the security of the airport came downstairs and told me, what are you doing here New Year's Eve? I'm like, I don't know. They told me to come here. So where do I go? He said, okay, you see that button? I said, yes. He said, whenever you need any help, press it. And I was alone in that airport. Everything's closed, hungry, no money in my pocket. I had like American dollars, but I can't do anything with it. So from 2 a.m. until 5 a.m., that button is broken because at the times I press, nobody's coming. None. Anyhow, so I went out of the airport and I looked at that piles of snow. I couldn't see anything but piles of snow. I'm like, no, where are the trees? Money? Nothing. So at 10 a.m., the worker came and said, I'm sorry, we didn't receive an email. This is coming out of her mouth, but what I hear is, we hate you. We don't want you in the city. We didn't want you. Why you came? This is what I hear because newcomer to Canada, no one, nobody's next to me at all. But later on, I figure out that there are small details that this city has, and it's amazing. One of the most amazing things is that when I step out of my house and I look at my neighbor, they say good morning, which is really weird to me because back home, you look at your neighbor, they're like, move your garbage. Literally, if yes, knowing that there's no garbage, but they just want to talk about it. They just want to say that. So because of this experience I had working with the humanitarian response force back home, there is an employment services in our office. which is a lady called Anita. And by the way, she's running an employment support workshop. I think I will share it with you. And just check with Daniela about the announcement. So everyone is welcome to prepare for their employment and what they have to do and how to prepare their resume to be equitable to Canada. Anyhow, so she looked at me and she's like, "Do you have a resume?" Because they don't know that we have resumes back home. And then I said, "Yes, I do." She's like, "Wow, okay, share it with me. So let's see what you have." And apparently I got hired because I have this experience and now I'm supporting other newcomers. But this period, yes, I got my job. Yes, like one of those dreamy things got tackled. I started working with newcomers who doesn't speak English. Fortunately, I speak English, but the people who don't speak English, with this 1 year support, and after 1 year, they can't speak English yet, they're stuck. So that's where I felt like we need something. We need to do something. And that's where we started an initiative called English Conversation Circles, which supports newcomers to get this fast track, fast pace of English. Like, for example, you remember those books, Speak English in 5 days? Those books, this is what we teach. Yes, that's what they need. They want to go to health provider and they just sit in there knowing nothing about what they're going to talk. They just pull their foot, here, pain, I, here. But with this English conversation circle, believe me, they started speaking. They don't understand, but at least they get the service. My feet hurts. That's it. The doctor will know. We'll get it from there. So this is one of the things that I support it with because I feel it. I know what's the background about it. Um, there are lots of newcomers who we received this year. I'm sorry if I'm talking too much. It's just because
We're waiting for lunch, so we are.
here we go. So let's go.
Buying
Yeah.
some
So yeah, there are lots of newcomers that we received who are unfortunately every refugee back home. You know how hard it is to be a refugee. Like they have lots of burdens they carry on their back. But at the same time, there are some newcomers who unfortunately carry another bag called traumas. Everyone has it, but I'm talking about LGBTQ clients and queer clients. So when we receive those clients, they come to us with this feeling of you're going to give me whatever I needed. I came here to Canada because I was suffering back home. Not only being a refugee, I was suffering, being afraid of being outed, afraid of being discriminated, afraid of being executed. I'm sorry to say that, but yes. So giving them this haven helps us, like helps them. I'm sorry. So when we receive those clients, we just tell them, be who you are, be who you want. This is the place for you. So when we give a client their first home, like this is the home that you're going to be with, believe me, the smile that they draw on their face, you can't imagine. Like this is, I don't want my paycheck right now. All I wanted is this. And that's what I always encourage people here. And I want you please to work on this. Whenever you hear there's a newcomer in the city, whatever they are, whoever they are, just smile. That's all they need. Believe me, because they wanted this feeling. They wanted this atmosphere of, I didn't see this back home. Now I'm seeing it. So I wanted to see that. And happily, in this city, I've seen it. When I went for a visit to bigger cities, I didn't see that. All I see is grumpy faces going to work, back at work. I don't want this. I honestly missed Thunder Bay when I was in a visit to Toronto, Montreal, and Ottawa, and all of this. I felt like, okay, no, that's back home. I want to go back to my city, Thunder Bay. So yeah, I love Thunder Bay, honestly. Want to say something? Share something about your story? No, this mic is mine. That's it.
Hi again. So I just want to emphasize on something. She said, we are refugee back home, but the moment we land here, we are permanent resident. So for you who keep asking me, oh, when are you going home? Are you not going home to visit family? Are you not? No, I'm not going. This is home. I'm not going anywhere. And I know you, the people who do that, they ask out of care and everything, but I'm not going. I'm now telling you, like, this is my home. I'm going to spend Christmas here. I'm going to spend New Year here. During the school holiday, this is where I'm going to be. So, yeah. And let me take this opportunity to just thank someone because I know this is the only time I'm going to say in front of everyone and express my gratitude to them. Hi, Mandy. So Mandy is an amazing person, and I know time is running, but I just wanted to take the opportunity to thank you because when I came here, Mandy has always been with me. I was in the other building, I was doing aerospace, and every time I'll go to Mandy's office, Mandy is such a good soul. And I thank you so much, and I love you. So, yeah.
So we're just trying to fill some time. Oh, okay. Well, that is the wrong place now, isn't it? If people have questions, we can answer questions. I know that, does anyone have any questions? Oh, okay. We could do that then.
Matt, I guess this one's for you. So, since you know a little bit about the RAPS program, are those people also permanent residents when they land in Canada?
Yes, everyone who comes through the resettlement assistance program, which is under the government assistance refugee, yes, they are permanent residents the moment they land in Canada. And the first thing we tell people when we meet them, they come with this bag that helps us and other workers around the world to identify them in airports that has the IOM or the UN refugee sign. The first thing we tell them, from now on, you take this bag off because you're not refugee anymore. You're a permanent resident in Canada, and you're going to be a citizen soon. So yeah. Anyone has a question?
I know that some people might want to get going as well, so I just really wanted to thank you guys for your time listening to our presentation. And again, if you do have questions that you'd like to ask outside of here, feel free to come and ask me. I can get you in touch with these guys or anybody else on the committee. And just also wanted to say thank you to our local committee. Again, that includes Mandy Wright, Ashley, I can't pronounce her last name, Robin from Suki, Kendall from Suki, Matt, Alouette, myself, and a big thank you to Miriam, who really pilots this whole thing. We haven't really touched on all of the ways that we fund it, but it's completely funded through the college, and it is quite amazing because we are the only school in Canada that completely funds it on our own through our funds. A lot of other schools, including the one I used to go to when I was a student, the students would have to fund the money. So it is incredible how giving Confederation College is, and that's something to note. It's a very large ask every single year, and departments always step up, and I'm forever grateful for that. So thank you to everyone who's ever helped us and will continue to help us in the future. It does not go unnoticed. As you can see with Alouette, she's very, very grateful, and so are we. And I can say that we had our refugee student come this year. And when he came, I was so worried because he wasn't going into his residence room. He was going into like an emergency room. And I was like, oh gosh, this isn't what it's supposed to look like. And I was stressing over little things because that's what I do. And Alouette came and wrote him a very beautiful note and gave him a card, and it was all there. So, after that, I was like, okay, I feel a little bit better. But then when we dropped him off that evening, because his plane was super late, and we dropped him off that evening, and he was speaking Arabic to Mad because he was shy to speak in English at first. And he turned to him and said, like, this is the greatest thing ever in my whole life. And he was almost in tears and said, I could not thank you enough 1,000 times over. And then on my way home that day, I just thought I was worried that this wasn't enough. And yet he can never thank us 1,000 times over. So it really puts into perspective, what we think is a big deal. It's nothing, like it's not a big deal at all. And people are grateful for everything. So I guess we could leave it there unless people have any more questions.
Maybe if anyone wants to ask about what is a refugee, how you become a refugee, what is and how SRP students, go ahead. Yes.
So what is the main difference between standard immigration process and the SRP and RAPS? Because it sounds like the RAPS and SRP, the immigration is like instant, whereas the standard process. So can you kind of just explain that a little bit more?
So we can't touch too much on immigration because I'm not legally certified, but the thing is, refugee programs can take upwards of 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years. So you think it's quick because when they come here, they're PRs, but all the work was done back home. So Alouette was 2 years, I believe, from start to finish. You were
4 years.
4 years. So, it's a long time. Immigration, in terms of our international students, it's a little bit different where they apply for a study permit and there's a ton of guidelines for that. And then when they get their study permit, they come to Canada and then they do all the things that way. And their immigration process from start to finish, if their goal, if their want and wish is to be a Canadian citizen, can take 5, 6 years, but on the ground in Canada. So they're very different paths for very different people, but both bring people here, and it just kind of depends where they go. But it's a long process to Canadian citizenship, no matter what. Even for these guys, they have to be here for 3 years, not leaving the country before they can apply for their Canadian citizenship.
Yeah, just to add to that, if you want to come under the government sponsorship program, and also through the SRP program, you have to be a refugee in a second country, which is not your homeland. Like I'm from Syria, I couldn't come to Canada under the government assistance refugee program if I was in Syria. I have to have a refugee status in a third country, in a second country, I'm sorry. So I was in Lebanon, and Lebanon, I sought refugee through the UNHCR program. UNHCR agency. UNHCR is not an easy agency. So you go through a lot of investigations, a lot of questioning, and a lot of interviews in order for them to say, okay, you're not going to Canada, you're going to a third country that helps you to resettle. At the same time, that's kind of similar to the SRP, but the difference is that SRP is aimed to Canada, but other refugees, like under the government assisted refugees all over the world. So once they determine that you're going to Canada, you go under this program, the GAR. Yeah, I hope I answered your question. Thank you. Oh, and other pathways, which are students, they just apply to the embassy. They don't have to go all this way. No worries. Yes. Any other questions, guys? Anyone from upstairs?
All right. Well, thank you again. Hopefully lunch will be here soon. Thanks for letting us chat a little bit longer than was slated for. And we hope you all have a lovely afternoon. Make sure for lunch, if you're staying, that you get a lunch ticket from any of the Suki staff in blue. And that is the end. Thank you.